So I knew yesterday when I made certain videos that it was going to mean that the family were not going to like me, Adriana's family. I upset Sir Brian yesterday because I spoke about Stefan. And what I always say is if I'm going to cover a case, I have to cover it honestly and responsibly and tell the whole truth. And if there's red flags and if there are things that need to be addressed, they have to be addressed. But you also can't ask somebody to help you get justice, but only partial justice and not talk about certain things. So I'm going to continue making content. I won't be having a relationship with the family going forward because I think that makes you feel pressured as if you can't cover certain parts of the case. Hopefully one day when justice has gotten for Adriana, there will be conversations maybe then when people can understand that my intentions were good. Up until then, that's not going to happen. There's just too many things that you cannot avoid. Watch this. Hello guys, so I make this video to Stefan Young. Now I know you've been going around to other live streamers saying I've ruined your life, and that is okay if that's what you want to do. But I have some very simple questions for you that you could quite easily answer. And the issue is I've checked with Facebook today, and if you wanted to re-download that live stream that you're saying you can't get hold of, you have till the 22nd of May to re-download that live stream. So what I'll put to you, based on the evidence of 3 people who are actually in your live stream, is that you made some not very nice comments about Adriana. You said that she was a problem child, and you said that she, you always made out like she was a promiscuous kid, like she was likely to have gone with a man. Being as she's 11 years of age, I find those comments really unsettling. You sat in your car the whole time, refusing to get out of your car because you said you'd be arrested, which I don't understand what you'd be arrested for if you've done nothing wrong. So the only way to prove me wrong and what I'm saying, being as I've spoke to 3 people, and you were victim blaming and victim shaming your baby cousin, the only way to prove me wrong is to download that live and re-upload it to your Facebook so everyone can see exactly what you did say. Hi guys, so this is about Adriana Young and the case. Now, while I'm not alleging anyone is involved in a crime or accusing anyone of anything, I am saying there are certain people in this case that have questions to answer that they haven't yet. So this here is DJ Stefan Young, who I believe is the cousin of Adriana on the father's side. Now, he worked at the hotel previously and knew all of the staff at the hotel. And it's believed that he may have been the person to suggest they go to the pool that day because of cheaper rates. Now, may I just say here that only about 7% of child abductions actually involve just strangers. And while I'm not saying Stefan is the one involved, I am saying there is somebody involved. There's someone that links Adriana to go into that hotel that day and then something happening on that day. Coincidences don't happen in true crime, in my opinion. Please watch this video to the end so you can see all of the evidence of what I'm saying before making up your own mind. So we know at 1:29 in this picture with Adriana in the pool that DJ Stefan was still there. However, Stefan himself claims he'd already left the location by the time that Adriana was no longer there, just 4 minutes later. This is Stefan's statement about what happened at the time that Adriana went missing.
Want to know how the letter you're missing from we outside. You understand? We care the letter you're there, we care the whole family out there.
Yeah.
The whole family was out there on like because yesterday we did not care nobody out, we did not go out anywhere to enjoy ourselves with the kids them.
Okay.
So we decided to carry the family out to the pool. So her grandmother called her and said, Adrian, come and eat something. So Adrian said, okay, Granny, I'll go and tell my sister that she keep an eye on her small brother.
Yeah.
So when I go and keep an eye on her small brother now, she head to the washroom and she called back. So her brother said she was in front of the washroom. And after that, he said he did not see her anymore. So my mom decided to call me and ask me, Stefan, Adriana is me? I said, no, Adriana is me. I said, man, it's kids. They must see that somewhere playing around the place and then checking the pool or something, yeah. So she said, okay. She said, okay. So when I go back there at the location, I see my brother-in-law, I see my uncle, my cousins, them, everybody so searching all over and them things. So I said, no, they say, something wrong here. Something wrong, something adding up here. So let I call my vehicle and I go, and same time I call my vehicle, the owner for the hotel come. So he know me because I used to DJ there at the club.
So if you just listen to that, at 1:29 we know Stefan was there because he's in the picture, but by the time that Adriana's noticed to be missing, within 10 minutes, he has left the location, needs to be called back to the location. Like, where had he gone in that time, and what does he mean by the location? And when they first realised Adriana was missing, they phoned Stefan because they're like, did you take her with you? And then the hotel owner phones him in his vehicle, which all seems a bit much to me. He's also the first person to say that somebody actually saw Adriana go to the wet washroom, and up until this point we were always told that she disappeared from beside the pool. I also find it quite strange that this police officer, who we know in the video, who takes his body cam footage, the camera, out of his pocket and places it back on after Adriana's body has been found, which is so suspicious, looks left and right before he does it, but it's quite comfortable to do it in front of DJ Stefan, and I find that really bizarre. Also, the group of people that Stefan chooses to stand with instead of his family is a really choice selection for me. Again, this is Stefan's arm here, so Leroy, the woman we've all been trying to identify, who is acting very suspiciously on the day that the body is discovered. Stefan is always seemed to be around this group of people. I also find his posting and social media during the time Adriana's missing to be quite underwhelming. So we see him posting, reposting Lewis and Mika's status here with just, hop, we find her. Like, you were there at the time she went missing. Like, to me, that's, when I'm profiling people, that would be a red flag. And I'm not the only one who found some of his choices on social media during the time Adriana was missing to be suspicious. Lewis and Mika, who is the auntie on the mum's side of Adriana, said, did anyone save the live that Stefan Young posted? I did not look at it, but would love to see it because of what I'm hearing. I went to his page and he deleted it. The one who shared it said, I didn't watch the whole live, but I saw when he was in the car the night of the disappearance, people were asking him to come out of the car and video so we could see what was going on, but he refused, saying he would get locked up if he did. That's weird. Why would you get locked up? So when the auntie asked for this footage, he completely overreacted and then started to get quite threatening. So look at this post here. He kind of responds saying, because I don't mean the mix-up things, and then say story, okay, I make my point clear, and I will be looking to this serious, I'm not joking. Y'all can't mix my name up in nonsense. What, I don't know if people out there trying to frame me, but then better reach out to the right people, because I don't make my name in cool nonsense, so you please short your problem. Which is all a bit much for me. Like, one other family member is asking you, like, can I see that live stream? And you respond with, like, why are you trying to frame me? Like, why would you be feeling that paranoid? He then says, y'all come off my back and don't mix me up with your nonsense, okay? Because this will not end good. Y'all come off my back. That is a blatant threat. And then Lewis and Mika just really, really calm back, saying, can you just please share the live so we can see it? Now, it shows that there are family members also up in the mix on the mum side who believe during that live stream he was doing things that were strange. Now, there's also a video I want to share with you, which is self-explanatory. Sir Brian's on the floor, passed out. The mum of Adriana is absolutely in pieces. And then look when the crowd pans out. Look at Stefan's reaction. It just doesn't sit right with me.
You're not telling us to fuck you properly. I'm not telling fuck you people not to properly.
Hi guys, so if you haven't seen this article, we did talk about it last night, but I want to just go through it again because I think looking into scientific information and medical information is so important when we're dealing with a case like Adrianna's. So as an expert medical analysis cast doubt on cause of Adrianna's death, she didn't drown in that pool. This is a prominent consultant at Nottingham University Hospital in the United Kingdom, has raised serious concerns. So you can pause any of these to read the whole thing. Now this is Dr. Mark Devenish from Nottingham Hospital. Now if you just pause, you can read all of his credentials as well. Now he says when a person drowns in a large volume of water, the body absorbs, inhales and ingests significant amounts of water, increasing its density. This results in the body sinking to the bottom of the pool. However, Adrianna's body was found floating and notably not bloated, a key phrase expected in decomposition after drowning, which would explain a body resurfacing temporarily due to a gas build-up, and this normally happens, we know, after a period of days. The absence of bloating combined with the body remaining afloat contradicts the typical post-mortem changes seen in genuine drownings. It goes on to say Adrianna's state defied all scientific expectations for drowning in a large pool. The physician said based on the fact the child was neither bloated nor submerged were both key indicators of a drowning victim, this anomaly cannot be ignored. Based on the foregoing, Dr. Devenish concludes that the evidence points away from drowning in a pool itself. Instead, he presents a chilling alternative theory. Adrianna may have been sedated and drowned in a smaller volume of water and then placed in the pool afterwards. And here he's just posted all of the kind of principles of drowning, so pause to read this. Then we've got expected post-drowning behaviour. Again, pause to read it. Now he says when it comes to Adrianna's anomalous condition, Adrianna's body was found afloat on the water's surface, not sinking, which is highly unusual for someone who's drowned in a pool. She had no bloating. Now we've all seen the pictures, she had none. If Adrianna had drowned in the pool, the typical post-mortem process would have caused her body to bloat due to gas build-up, but this was not observed. A body that drowned is left in water should eventually float to the surface as decomposition occurs due to the gases formed inside. But Adrianna's body was not bloated, and what he's saying here is, how did she rise to the surface again if she had no bloating in order to bring her up to the surface? The lack of bloating and the fact that her body remained afloat suggests she was drowned. The water she was drowned in did not follow the typical post-drowning process. Therefore, he said that Adrianna likely did not drown in that pool. Dr. Devenish's hypothesis is that most likely explanation is that Adrianna was sedated and then drowned in a smaller body of water, not the pool, and afterwards her body was likely placed in the pool post-mortem. This would explain why her body was found afloat, as it would not have undergone the full process of drowning and bloating in the pool. He goes on to say it's more likely she was forced drowning in a smaller body of water, and again you can pause this to have a look. And the conclusion is based on the principle of physics, the body's natural post-mortem processes. Dr. Devenish argues the scientific evidence does not support drowning in the pool as a cause of Adrianna's death. The logical conclusion is she was sedated, drowned elsewhere, and her body was later deposited in that pool.